20 in Waterloo, New York, down here on the west side of the canal. Canal pals, did you know that the Cuyahoga County District Attorney's Office, Lee Enterprises, which was the owner of the Citizen newspaper in Auburn, New York, and the city of Auburn chose to participate in a federal racketeering conspiracy where the three entities chose to target two former employees of Lee Enterprises for terrorist attacks. When Lee Enterprises was recruiting soldiers for help in the racketeering conspiracy, some people chose to participate in the federal racketeering conspiracy. Some of those people included Cuyahoga County District Attorney James Vargason, Cuyahoga County Judge John Bodelman, Auburn Police Detective Doug Parker, Auburn Police Chief Sean Butler, and a lot of other members of the Auburn Police Department and Lee Enterprises. For example, Lee Enterprises, to further the federal racketeering conspiracy, flew in multiple administration for Lee Enterprises where they lied to a jury in the city of Auburn under the direction of Cuyahoga County Judge John Bodelman. That was all part of the federal racketeering conspiracy. Lee Enterprises also made guarantees to the city and the county to further the racketeering in a bribe that nothing would be printed in the newspaper, in any Lee Enterprises newspaper, because obviously then the conspiracy would be exposed, and obviously they did not want that. So what happened? Lee Enterprises paid off two governments that helped secure the federal racketeering conspiracy. Besides rigging a trial, John Bodelman coaching witnesses to lie to a jury, John Bodelman tampered with evidence, John Bodelman tampering with witnesses, John Bodelman tampering with evidence. And then they took that guy to court where they chose to rig that trial, and then his pregnant wife was also terrorized by Judge John Bodelman, Vargason, and the city of Auburn. They targeted her, also a former employee of Lee Enterprises, for fraud. They tried stealing her unemployment insurance benefits through fraud. Lee Enterprises, Cuyahoga County, and the city of Auburn once again teamed up to rig unemployment insurance. Up there, well, it's in Albany, Ricky Manuel, with the full permission of the board of directors of Lee Enterprises and the Lee Enterprises CEO, perjured himself to the New York State Department of Labor to further a federal racketeering conspiracy. Ricky Manuel had permission from his bosses at the Lee Enterprises headquarters to lie under oath in order to get away with fraud. Also involved with that fraud, of course, was the Auburn Police Department, Gary Giannotta, and Vargason and Bodelman. To further the fraud with the Department of Labor, Ricky Manuel was told by the city of Auburn and the county of Cuyahoga, that they are free to use the resources of the county and the city to help facilitate the federal racketeering fraud against the pregnant female. And so forth. Lee Enterprises started using a wide variety of names to further the fraud in the city of Auburn. However, the fraud that Lee Enterprises, Cuyahoga County, and the city of Auburn were trying against the pregnant woman failed. They failed at stealing her money. Lee Enterprises CEO Junk failed at her attempts to steal money through fraud here in New York State. She tried. The Lee Enterprises Board of Directors tried to commit fraud and steal from the pregnant woman, but they failed. They failed miserably. However, the federal racketeering members, Bodeman, Vargason, and a lot of others, were successful with lying to a jury and tampering with evidence. And so because of that, DCOM 20 will be making a lot of videos and slowly not leaking out, delivering the evidence that Judge John Bodeman in a federal racketeering conspiracy withheld from a jury. Judge John Bodeman, why would you choose to become a federal racketeer with Lee Enterprises? Judge John Bodeman, why would you tamper with evidence, tamper with witnesses, obstruct justice? Why would you do that? Because Judge John Bodeman is a criminal pretending to be an honest lawman. Republican Judge John Bodeman is currently still in a federal racketeering conspiracy with Lee Enterprises. And DCOM 20 is going to slowly expose this even more. Remember, Ricky Manuel and Doug Parker already dropped dead when they were exposed for the federal racketeering conspiracy. And we want to ensure that before the rest of the felons drop dead, that the last thing that they see in their felon heads is DCOM 20. Thank you.